I was just about to shuffle off to bed, and I saw Laciana's loneliness thing, and I couldn't not respond because I don't know, loneliness. I don't remember a lot of loneliness before I got divorced. That was 8 years ago, 7 years ago. I was married for 15 years. We were together 17 years. But subsequently, I found two things. I found that physical pain pales in comparison to mental pain, and that when you're single, I think a good part of being a good single person is being able to deal with loneliness. I've often had a saying that said, loneliness will make some people do some dumb things. They will do crazy things not to be lonely. And they're not really chasing the loneliness away. They're just covering it up with some other activity, be it somebody else's attention, whatever. I think loneliness is something that we have to be able to manage. What triggers my loneliness is Sunday afternoons, Sunday evenings. At first it was, when I dropped the kids off back at Mom's house. I mean, it is stark, cold reality from a house that is alive to a house that is quiet. And there are probably a lot of people out there that would embrace that and think that, man, I could just use a little bit of quietness, but you don't understand how comforting that chaos is. All the noise, all the things that make a house alive. So I don't dread loneliness. Again, I manage it. I take it in stride. I understand it is part of life. I don't dislike it, but I'm not going to do something dumb just to say that I'm not lonely. I don't want to get into the whole alone versus loneliness deal. This is purely about feeling lonely or being lonely. How you can be lonely in a crowd. So yeah, that's that. I don't know. It is a unique feeling. I often have loneliness and depression go hand in hand. And it is a thing of feeling disconnected. Even though the disconnect we do with ourselves. Not too long after I first got divorced, I moved 40 miles away from everybody. I moved out into the middle of the country and wallowed in my loneliness, made sure that I was alone, lonely, and was going to stay that way for as long as I chose to. I don't know what that is either, because that's also a mechanism of going through loss of a relationship. But you got to do it. It's part of dealing. It's probably the 5 stages, just like you do with death and everything else. The mourning and the bargaining and the acceptance, and I'm missing a couple there, but I think you get the point. I'd love to have that conversation too. hopefully this will start it off. Not trying to be melodramatic or, poor pitiful me. Because a lot of times when you say that, you have to manage being lonely and you have to be alone, you can get someone that, oh, you don't have to be that way. You just have to. And sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. I remember, at times when I had girlfriends, the worst thing they ever heard me hear was that I ate dinner alone. That was the worst, and it's just a meal. I'm working, go sit down at a restaurant, get away from work. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Do your casual observations and stuff, but I'm rambling now, so I'm going to stop. Let's start a dialogue. Oh yeah, I do ride a motorcycle alone a lot. And I got rained on tonight. Good times.